Hey guys, Magnus here. I was going to do two separate videos on this, but I decided against it. May as well put it in one video. It saves my time, and also I don't want to, well, I could probably get more views for both. But well, basically, there is going to be a superheroes event part 2. Obviously, last year it was probably one of my favourite updates in the whole. Well, the whole of that year, last year. So doing a part 2, I'm kind of a bit mixed on whether or not I'm enjoying it, if I'm going to enjoy it. So of course, last year's was brilliant, but this year's I don't know, because although there is quite a lot of stuff they can add, and I'll go through some of that in a second, I don't know if it's enough, really, because looking through all like superhero themed episodes, or that's literally all I've been doing to try and get some ideas, because a lot of the stuff isn't listed on the wiki. There isn't so much content I can really think that they can actually add. So when will this event be? Well, it will be after the Chiliad event has ended, and I imagine it will be next week. I think, at least that's my best bet. So it's going to be coming pretty soon. I imagine it's going to be our main event for the summer. So yeah. Anyway, I have prepared some ideas, so we may as well go through them. There's not really much point. There's nothing really much else to talk about. So yeah, so my first idea for this event is actually doing the Geeks Revenge, the Nerds Revenge storyline, which was in the Homer, when Homer obviously is going after the rich Texan, and Marge and Lisa and Bart, they all tell a story about revenge, and one of them is the Geeks Revenge. Now, I know this isn't really superhero themed, but to me, it would make a really good storyline for either Act 1, Act 2, or Act 3. I'd be pretty happy if they did that. And in this, they can add Costain, or Costain, even, I don't know. The Asian kid, he's a part of the Super Friends. He'd be really cool to add. Obviously, trying to complete the Super Friends. They could also add Email. He's the other one. Dorky kid. It's funny how they got these weird names. Again, they could add him. He'd be really cool to have in. And Ham is the other one. I'd be happy to have him in as well. Pretty cool. They could do some fun stuff with that. And also a report card. And all four of these characters will come into the Geeks thing. And also we'll get Millhouse. We'll get Database. We'll get Lisa. Get all them involved. And of course all the bullies involved as well. And it'd be a pretty cool storyline to have. And I'd be that's what I really want. Personally is the storyline I kind of most want. And I do hope they do add that. So anyway, moving on. The next character is actually the Incredible Bulk, or is it the Incredible Hulk? Well, it's the Incredible Bulk, but it's also been known as the Incredible Hulk. Now I know this is the Hulk, and obviously there might be copyright issues there, but they do call him the Incredible Hulk, or is it the Mulk? I don't know. It's something rhyming with Hulk, I know that, but they do address him as the Hulk as well. So I'm not too sure what they can do there. If they do rename him, then obviously they can. They could probably have him added in as well, but the likeliness is that he wouldn't be in there. But it would be cool to have him as a non-playable character, because I'd really enjoy that. The next character is actually the Human Fly. He's a superhero I think he's actually like a vigilante in the Simpsons. I'm not too sure about him. He looks pretty cool though, so he isn't actually anyone. He literally is just a guy who randomly goes around climbing buildings, I think. I know he's not really a superhero, because I don't think he has any power. He's just a bit of a weirdo who climbs buildings, I'm pretty sure. But he'd be pretty cool to have in as well, as like a little spoofy kind of thing. The other character is actually Old King Cole. He's actually one of Radioactive Man's sort of main nemesis, which he actually Old King Cole actually kills him in one of their things, I think. So yeah, it'd be really cool to add him in as a sort of, well, as a character, either non-playable or playable. There isn't really much to go on him though, so I don't know if they can make him playable. Of course, there is some other characters that I that aren't really. Oh, actually, before I go with that, there's Abominable Dr. Lenny. He's actually the Fruit Batman's one of the Fruit Batman's villains. So yeah, obviously he's just kind of like a stereotypical bad guy. Not too sure. There isn't really much they can go off him. But I'll talk about the Dependable storyline I think they should do in a second. So obviously, Abominable Dr. Lenny, he's the Dependable's villain. Of course, we have Lyle McCarthy, who's actually Homer's the Everyman Homer's fitness trainer. He'd be really cool to add with the one of the well, I don't know if they could add him with anything, but they could add him as a character. He obviously is the guy who trains Homer, trains Homer to be Everyman Homer. And of course, you can always throw in your sort of characters that don't really tend to fit it, but they could fit this event. First one's Troy McClure. I know he's probably never going to be added, and I've talked about this many times. I don't think he is going to be added, but I would like it if they added him as a sort of to lead the event. Obviously, he is a movie sort of commentator, so it makes sense to him to commentate on the superheroes. I just really love to see Troy McClure in the game, and he's never going to be in it, I know, but I still want him to be added. And the other one is Jay Sherman. Obviously, he's a movie critic, so it makes sense for him to add him as well. Obviously, he can critique. Maybe they can do some spoofs where he's critiquing the movies or something. I'd like that. So yeah, the final character is actually Alice Glick. Now that seems like a bit of a weird one, probably at first. Like, well, Alice Glick, what's the point for her? You know, what's she got to do with it? But this is when we come to the Dependable storyline. So I think they should add Alice Glick as a character, and they should actually add her costume with, you know, either by the side of a character or later on, which actually is the Hot Flash, which obviously is a spoof of the Flash, but the Hot Flash. So this is where it comes into the Dependable storyline. So the Dependable storyline is, it wasn't actually done. It was done at the end of the Fruit Batman episode, and then they never kind of continued with it. Now, this is where I think Tap should come in, because I do like it. You know, when Chester Debris got added, I was a bit kind of mixed on his character, because although I liked his character, I kind of didn't like it at the same time, because it was like a character not from The Simpsons, but these are actually from The Simpsons, so this is a bit different. I think Tap should actually kind of what's the word? Digress with the storyline, with the Dependable storyline, with actually, you know, and actually kind of branch it out a little. So obviously the Hot Flash is the first one. They could also add the Rambler, which is Abe's costume for Abe. You know, he's not really. I don't think he did. No, he didn't get a superhero costume last time, so it'd be pretty cool to add the Rambler. Obviously, he rambles on, and that's what tires people out. We've also got Iron Lung, which is a really funny one for Mole Man. If they could get this and just have it like have the costume, just I don't know, like, go around on the wheels, just have him going around in the iron thing, go around. That would be such a cool costume for Mole Man. And also we have Early Bird, which is Jasper's character's thing. So those are, and of course the Fruit Batman as well, which is already in the game. Those are the Dependables. I just think what they should do with them is they should have a story. Obviously, in the end of the Fruit Batman episode, we see that they're all kind of assembled, so to speak, to actually go rescue the Fruit Batman from Abominable Dr. Lenny. Now, what they can do is they can kind of take that storyline and actually have, you know, the Dependables come together. Now, the only problem I can think about is, you know, they'd have to make Alice Glick a non-premium and the Rambler, because and obviously Mr. Burns, but he's already. The problem is, Mole Man and Jasper are both premium characters, so they do have to make these storylines, you know, fit for non-premium players. So what I think they could do is like send 4 Dependables to rescue the Fruit Batman, and have the Fruit Batman get captured, and then have Abominable Dr. Lenny kind of, you know, torture or something, or torture the Fruit Batman, or kidnap the Fruit Batman, and then you send 4 of the Dependables, or, you know, 2 twice, to actually go rescue him, and it'd be a really, really cool storyline. I hope they do it. I really, really enjoy that if they did do that. But anyway, moving on. We also have the Cupcake Kid, which is a sort of costume for Bart, which is like a bit like the what is it? A bit like what's the name? Pie Man. Homer's costume, Pie Man. It's kind of his sidekick. So obviously it makes sense to add that, and I do think that's probably going to be added. That's one of the ones I'm certain is going to be added, surely. But because they obviously didn't add it last year because Bartman was added. So yeah, and also we have the ingestible milk or ingestible, I don't know, ingestible Homer costume, which is basically just a Incredible Hulk Homer for costume. Again, it'd be a really, really cool one to have. There's nothing else I can think of a costume for Homer that would actually work in this event, so that could be like Homer's generic costume for this event, and it could be done pretty well. I think they could do it pretty decently, and it would be a pretty cool costume to have. And of course, the last one is actually Stretch Dude and Clobber Girl. Now, these are actually in a Halloween episode, and I know that, but they can still add them. It's a superhero-based Halloween episode, and there's plenty of other Halloween stuff they have the material for. So they're not going to run out of Halloween material for Halloween events anytime soon. So they could definitely sacrifice this for the superhero event, and it'd be really, really cool. And I think these two costumes would be really, really cool costumes to have. If you can stretch around, and Clobber Girl's like really, really heavy. You can spin wig 'em on one finger, maybe. That'd be a pretty cool task to have. This is probably my favorite Halloween special. So it's from my favorite Halloween special. So it'd be really cool if they added that. Moving on, we'll get to some sort of like, of course, obviously, finally, we have the Everyman Homer. Of course, we have to add the Everyman Homer. The Everyman Homer is widely requested by Raging Banana, who's now called something else. I forget what his new name is, but Raging Banana, but who's no longer Raging Banana, but he has requested Everyman so much, and of course they've got to add Everyman Homer into this event. And I've actually got a new building that he could come with. I actually watched the episode to do some research, and he should come with ginormous pictures. Was it ginormous? I don't know, but he could come with this because this is actually the company that bought the rights to Everyman Homer. So yep, that's why they should add that with him. And of course, there was also 1 Week Wonder Films, which is their sort of competitors who try to buy the rights to the Everyman Homer first, but obviously can't because the other company's already bought it. So they can add that. Of course, there's also Abominable Dr. Lenny's lair. This is where obviously the kidnapping and stuff will take place. This actually is a pretty cool building because it actually sits in the sea. So I really like that. So that'd be really, really cool to put into the sea. There's also Springfield Books. This is the place where Xena is, and of course I think they should add Xena as well. Not too sure about the rights there, but it'd be really, really cool if they did add Lucy Lawless or Xena into the Simpsons. Of course, there's also Wholesome and Sons Publishing. This is the place where Mr. Burns kind of gets inspired for the Fruit Batman, but also it's like a comic shop that he used to obviously read, and Mr. Burns' dad bought it just to burn it down. They could have had some Mr. Burns' dad with that, but it wouldn't really make much sense. But you know, that'd be pretty cool if they added that. There's also Springfield Copy Shop. This is where obviously they actually printed the Everyman Homer, so you know, it makes sense to add that maybe. I don't know what with, but that'd be pretty cool. It's just an extra. There's also Millar Baggins Comic Book Shop. Of course, that kind of is self-explanatory why they should add that. There is also Odin's of Shelbyville. Now this is a Shelbyville comic book shop, but they could still add it. It makes sense, you know. I'd like it if they actually did a Shelbyville event. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, they could add the Odin's of Shelbyville. That'd be cool. What else do we have? Let me just check. We also have this sort of robot thing, which is owned by Everyman Homer's sort of rival. So this robot thing they can add in, you know, and it can actually come with the this lizard thing, which is Everyman Homer's rival, like I said. So yeah, I mean, he could be non-playable or he could be playable. Again, I like it if Tapta actually kind of added more of a character to these characters. What else do we have? Now, of course, we have. Well, not of course, but we have Coolsville, which is sort of Android's Dungeons. It was Android's Dungeons sort of rivalry for a bit. This can come with the owner, whose name I've actually forgot. Give me a second. Let me just go look. His name is. Okay, I'm not really too sure what his name is, but that guy, I will go the event. You know what? Milo. That's it, Milo. The guy's name's Milo. So yeah. Moving on, I had to ramble for a bit there. Of course, there is my favourite one that I really hope they add This is the final building I've got, and this is Buccaneers. I've been wanting them to add this building for ages, and I really do want them to add it. And it could come with one of the Super Friends. That would make sense. But this building needs to be in the game. I swear, it's one of my favourite buildings that they haven't added so far, and I really do hope they add it in this event. It makes so much sense. Obviously, comic books are bookshops, and of course there can be fantasy and stuff that they can do as well. So yeah. Oh yeah, the final idea is actually, it's a double idea. This is actually going to be in the next Simpson idea, so this is a little preview, and this is actually, if I go find it, Simpson idea, here it is. This is actually Senor Ding Dong's doorbells, with Senor Ding Dong, and you can also have his truck. So that's a little preview of next week's Simpsons ideas. It's just going to be in here, but it makes sense to add Senor Ding Dong. He's kind of like a vigilante in his own sense, and he whips out the doorbells. So that'd be a really cool thing to add. I honestly think that would be such a funny thing to add in. So yeah. So I really want them to add Senor Ding Dong. If they don't add him, I'm actually going to be annoyed. If they add him, this event automatically becomes one of my favourite, because he's just such a weird and funny, unique character. So anyway guys, that's all my ideas I have. There isn't really much more to I don't really have any other ideas. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. So of course the superhero event's going to come soon, so I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for the superhero event, because I am. It will be totally costume based, but of course there is a lot of characters they can add there, and I do hope they do the Dependable storyline and the Geek storyline, the Geeks Revenge storyline, and I also hope they do the I don't know. I'm not too sure what else they hope to do, but I really want, if they added more characters than costumes in this event, because I think that's the one thing that weighed the last superhero event down a little bit. But if they do add more add more characters than costumes in this event, I'd be so happy with this event, and it automatically probably be my favourite. But we don't know. We'll have to see. So anyway, of course, there's probably more stuff I could have added in this video, but I don't really have all the time to be looking for every little thing that they could add. But I think that's enough. So thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.